Right, everybody, welcome to another live for Pandora Platinum, the #1 best home arcade console. And why is it the best? Well, because it performs the best and it has the most compatibility with most consoles and the most arcade games you can possibly think of. Today we're going to just do a quick play along with a game that I personally like that was in the arcades and was not available on any home console, and that's Alien vs. Predator. Okay. And if you notice here, I'm using the coin button because this is really, it's actually the arcade version, okay, the true arcade version. And I'm going to select my player, and I want to use the Predator. This is this is the Retro Arcade Archive. So the Pandora Platinum uses archive cards to relive your favorite arcade and home arcade experiences. So if you go to pandoraplatinum.com, you'll see all the options. These units are custom built, so there's a lot here that you can do with it. Unlike a lot of those cheaper all-in-one machines you see that don't run games well, sounds weird, doesn't perform, this Pandora Platinum is light years ahead of the others. So I'll show you that in a second, a few different options. Oof. I could change my character if I want. I love doing that. It's such an awesome move. Awesome. So again, the Pandora Platinum is a multi-unit game console that plays basically games from the last 40 years. So this is what we call a separated panel. You can see in our TikTok shop is a separated panel. Okay. This is a wireless. It also comes in wireless if you want. And we also have the regular spread, which is the two players next to each other. But so just to show you, so I'm going to exit the menu real quick. And again, the beautiful thing about this is a multi-arcade console. So it allows you to save the state here if you want to save and then continue on later. All right. So you can play a bunch of games and not have to start from the beginning. Or if you want that arcade experience, then you start from the beginning. It's that simple. So I'm going to exit real quick. And I'm going to show you a few things on the back of it. So this is what separates the men from the boys, okay? Is you'll notice here that it's got an HDMI, so basically any HDMI connection will work, right? We also have VGA out. The volume, this also has its own speaker, okay? And it has the ability to expand to 3 and 4 players, and also uses a PC joystick, which is really nice, okay? And this is extension jack for the second player. So if you have, like, again, it's a separated panel. So the second player could be sitting, 6 to 8 feet away from you. And the nice thing about here is, like I said before, I said about the archive card. So if you see here, there's a little micro SD. This is where the archives go. Okay, this is where you could swap out the game sets that you've archived. Okay, so let me just show you a few of the things that are nice about it. So there's that little button, that CFG button that I showed you earlier. So that'll bring up the in-game menu, well, the operating menu, and you can change a bunch of stuff, everything from the graphic settings, all right? So you could do, we do what they can call the Super HD, and what that is, the Super HD allows a bigger screen TV for it to not be pixelated. So you don't have to worry about that pixelation. Screen ratio, we can go 16:9 where it fills the entire screen, or it goes that 4:3 where sometimes aficionados like to have that 4:3 experience. Okay, they kind of don't like the wider screen. I actually prefer the wider screen sometimes. Very rarely do I want a 4:3. Sometimes on shooters I do, on 𝘁𝗵𝘂𝗺𝘀, but that's available to you. Okay, you can turn the background music on and off on the menu if you choose to. All right, and we also have the input settings. Remember I told you have 3 or 4 players, so you could have 3 or 4 players, and you could use many different USB controllers. But we actually supply the best USB controllers for it. So if you want to go to PandoraPlatinum.com, you'll see the ones that are supported. So PS4 controllers are supported even with the USB headset, so you can use the sound coming out of the USB headset, which is really cool. And the analog works great with a lot of arcade titles. In fact, some of them arcade titles were designed specifically for the analog. Like there's just certain games like Outrun, Turbo Outrun, like Choplifter. Some of the games that were like some of the Sega classics basically require you to use the analog, because you're not gonna really be able to use it that great on a stick like that. It wasn't really developed like that. So this is the 3 and 4 player archive. I stand corrected. And this has a lot of the 3 and 4 player games. So games that are arcade exclusives, you again can recreate the experience and play 3 and 4 players. Games like Dungeons and Dragons, G.I. Joe, Captain Commando, Captain American Adventures, Gauntlets, right? This is a great game that was never released on home console. Golden Axe, Revenge of Death Adder. Most people play the original Golden Axe. This is the second one that was exclusive to the arcade. Okay, let me see if we got here. So we'll do like NBA Jam. Let's do the NBA. So we have all the NBA Jams in here. We have NBA Hang Time, NBA Jam, TE. And again, a lot of these all-in-one consoles that you might see on these sticks, it's all BS, folks, because they cannot perform. They freeze, they crash, they don't have the sound. Sometimes the games are like the versions of like Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, and nobody's trying to have that, right? Like you want the actual arcade experience, so you're gonna get the arcade experience. So for instance, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, this is the arcade version. You see, it says 𝘁𝗵𝘂𝗺𝘀 coinage, right? So you can see, watch, you can hear the sound. That's the sound of credits going into the arcade machine. So you're going to get the ability to play all this stuff, okay? Now, the nice thing about it, too, is you even have arcade menus. So, like, here, we'll just show you on the website, you can actually change the buttons what everything's controlled. So if you want to change the buttons, inputs, it's in this menu. Like, so input this game would change that, okay? And a lot of the dip switches, too, like big head mode, all that kind of cool stuff. So I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to play real quick. So I'm going to show you guys. So I'm just gonna choose anything just to get started. All right, and I have to do it. I have to do it.
Tonight's matchup: Bulls versus.
You can easily tell it's the arcade version of the game because the sound is just so much better. Graphics are bigger. It's just cleaner.
Here's the tip. Dash is Mashburn. Jams it in.
All right.
Tip in. Tip in. For 2.
Oh.
No good. To Jackson. Hip fake. 𝘁𝗵𝘂𝗺𝗀𝗃. Head fake.
Oh, goaltending.
Armstrong. The wild
Take
shot.
the 3-point from the midline.
He's done.
Let's pass. Boom. There's nothing better than this. Is one of the definitive best basketball games.
Head fake. Head fake. Pippen.
Boom.
Pippen. For two. The turnover. Pippen.
One more. Because if you get 3 in a row, you go on fire. Oh, no way.
Lays it up. Raffle.
Oh,
Wild
it's
shot. No good. It's rejected. 1 minute to go. Williston to lead the Mavericks up by 8. Pippen, great defense. Head fake.
see how smooth it is. There's no slowdown. Again, you could switch buttons if you want. So if you don't like the button layout. So, as you can see, and just to show you real quick, if I wanted to go into dip switches, push these 3 buttons on the start together, bring up that menu. You can go into dip switches in the game, all right? You could change the inputs. Oh, shit. So you see the button 1 combinations, left, right, shoot, player 1 button, 1, 2, 3. So the arcade versions of these games, there's only 3 buttons, right? It was shoot, turbo, and pass. So, and player 4 is all there. So again, I'm gonna show you real quick. Return the game. So if I want to quit this, I can quit that, right? But you're hearing the actual arcade experience. Like this is like the full arcade experience. Another great game here. Sunset Riders, Ninja Turtles. We'll do Turtles in Time real quick. So you gotta give it a second to load. This is basically the loading screens of the arcade versions of the games. And again, you can check out the TikTok shop, or you can go directly to PandoraPlatinum.com.
Let's get show!
And again, you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of these versions that you play on these all-in-ones, they slow down. And then you have the issue of like you can't actually expand to 4 players, or you have 4 players slowdown, which doesn't happen here.
April on the other 20. Let's get show!
And this Pandora Platinum uses real arcade parts, not this cheap stuff that break or feels spongy. So you could feel these are really like solid. Like it's hard, you can hear the clicks, but it's hard for you to really, me to show you how something feels, right? Like, you know, but I can tell you, I've played many arcade sticks and all kinds of stuff and arcade experience stuff, and nothing comes close to this. And if you want to get even further hardcore, you could upgrade to Sanwa parts, Japanese arcade parts.
Prepare
And again, because it's an arcade version, you can just join right in. Another 4 players can join right in.
Eliminate the turtle.
Let's see. Good thing I'm not using quarters. I'd be angry right now. I used to play this game so much in the arcade. I used to have so many quarters. Probably went through at least $50 or more just in one sitting.
Cat Blues.
All right, so I'm gonna just exit the stage again. If you wanted to say save state, you could save the state. And if you want to load, that's where you would load from, right? So like, it's pretty awesome that you could do that, right? Because you can't do that with a normal home console. And again, tons of different games. There are a ton of different games from every archive, literally thousands of games to select from for every archive. And yeah, and that's going to conclude our play along session. Again, if you guys want to learn more about the Pandora Platinum, just go to pandoraplatinum.com, and you can see literally all the options that are possible for you to have the ultimate home arcade experience for a fraction of the cost. You don't have to buy a big arcade machine that costs that lunk in the house. It costs you a few $1,000s. You don't have to have one of those, even those little fake ones that have 1 or 2 games. You have a full archive experience. Like literally each archive that you can create has the ability to have hundreds and hundreds of games. So the value is it's uncomparable to what you are normally fed. So I mean, this is the definitive home arcade console. And if you look it up, don't take my word for it, go to pandoraplatinum.com, take a look at it, and then look at the reviews. Everybody loves the Pandora Platinum. I mean, there are other arcade machines out there that play multiple games, but they don't compare to the Platinum. The performance, the usability, the build, and all over just general ease of use of being able to have a multi-home arcade console like the Pandora Platinum. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you guys haven't watched before, just make sure you follow, subscribe. Go our Instagram too, Pandora Platinum. You can find us at Pandora Box Arcade also. And yeah, hopefully we can play along with you guys next time. And check us out when you get a chance. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have fun.